to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hello, all. Welcome, friends, to the Detroit Cast with Mike and Jay. Big E, of course, is here. Kadog is here. How are you, my friend?
Perfect, sir. Happy to be here.
Yes, coming off the weekend. How was your weekend?
It's a great weekend.
Was it?
It was a great weekend. Of course, we had the snow days last week to
Ooh.
finish out the week.
I know about that. I saw your tweets like a raving lunatic.
The dust has settled, so I know we're a few days beyond this. But I got to tell you, man, our public educators are not real serious about public education.
Did you just figure that out on
Dude,
Thursday?
I'll tell you what, that was bullshit.
Yeah.
A bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, as we talked about when we came in here Thursday, roads were, there was a lot of snow that fell
Hit
Wednesday,
and miss.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Not ideal. But back in our day, the buses probably plow through it. Here's where I go on my old man rant.
Yeah.
So, all right,
Wait.
We'll
which
give
day?
them Thursday off.
Thursday.
We'll give
Okay.
them Thursday off. We got dumped on. We got 10 to 12 inches up by me. So that was a lot. And the side streets.
Yeah, we got them early though. You could an
We
argument
did get
could
it
be
early.
made. An argument can be made. That was always the trouble when you had a big snow coming and it hit
It was
early.
too early.
It was like, no, by the
No.
time they're gonna
But
have time
now,
to clear
Mike,
these.
now what they do is they call it at like 3:34 in the afternoon.
That's such bullshit.
Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit. So, all right, fine. They get Thursday going into Friday. They'll have normal school. Oh no, here comes 4 o'clock again. They call it bullshit. I'm looking at the road. It's sunny out. It's clear.
Yeah.
There's no snow in the forecast.
Wow.
Long weekend. Clearly,
Wow. The kids must have been ecstatic.
they were
Why would they do that?
just to have a long weekend, man. I mean, it was
They
the
probably suspect that it's not coming again. This is their chance,
it
right?
was the first snow days of the year, and they just count on a few of those, right?
Yeah. And they
I
didn't
mean,
get any.
I hate to go the teacher union route and all that, but it's
Yeah.
bullshit.
You were tweeting at people. You were tweeting at actual individuals at one point. over
Well,
the
I
weekend.
I gave Lakeview Superintendent Carl Paulson props because under tremendous scrutiny,
Yeah.
he kept his schools open.
He did.
He did, and
without incident?
He took huge heat, but he's standing. It's
He's
hilarious,
you realize he's one car accident away from costing his career in a move like that.
dude.
What's the upside for Carl?
The kids get educated.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. On Friday they got a
learn-
lot out of
learn a
Friday,
ton.
didn't they?
They learn a ton. No, dude, I'm watching this interview by this guy standing outside. He's being interviewed by Channel 7 or whatever, and they're like, why did you keep school open today? And he's like standing there going, look at the grass. There's like half an inch of snow. It's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. He's like, I drove around, the community the night before, and it's fine.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't care that the other two districts right near us did. I made the call that it's fine.
Yeah. So you tweeted him and gave him props.
I did. I gave him props, man. I love this guy.
I think
Did he get back at you or no?
No, he didn't.
No. Nah. I think I tweeted at you that 16-year-old Jay Detroit Cast would piss in your breakfast cereal for this opinion right now. as people
Someone has to stand up for what's right, Mike.
Well, it's kind of laughing. I don't honestly, I'm trying to think, and maybe it happened, but I don't remember ever getting a day off where it was like, wow, this is borderline. Like it always was a disaster outside before they would call it. Not to sound like bitching old men here, but
Well, there's this attitude by a lot of adults now, like, oh, you know what? Just whatever.
yeah,
Like, dude,
yeah,
send them to school.
yeah. And obviously the kids don't give a shit. They'll take a day off, but as we get older, you do notice what a problem that is for parents to adjust
It's a huge
to
problem.
these things. But anyway, well, so the kids got along.
So anyway, yeah. So weekend was good, other than the
yeah.
lead up there.
How was your weekend, E? You had your
Very
comedy
good.
show. How
Yes,
did
I
that go?
Sounds
like
great.
it went well.
Yeah, it was great. It was interesting. on some level. I don't know if you read any of the comments about how kind of what ended up happening.
I read some comments. It sounds like usually I'm waiting for people to go, fucking sucks, he's an asshole or whatever. But I didn't see any of that. True. In fairness, that's very true. But I didn't see any of that stuff. I saw tons of people that were like, oh my God, had a blast.
Which is weird because here's what I meant when I meant if you read the comments. What happened was, for one, I thought all the guys did really well. I do take, no matter what people think on me on some level, I do take doing comedy very seriously, even though I'm not a professional at it.
I don't hate him, but I just don't think he's that good.
But like, I will say Saturday night, having some buddies from all drove a few hours. We had a hotel room. I had a little more fun and a little less. Like sometimes I'll spend on these bigger shows, I'll spend 2 hours before literally just reading my jokes, even though I don't do them verbatim like that. It just gets them more in me.
Yeah.
And I didn't do that. So that was on that level. I didn't have my best set. But what happened is I felt like a few of them, there was one person in the audience that was kind of being an asshole, to be honest with you, a little drunk and just yelling shit out. And don't get me wrong, fan? Probably, yeah. Dude, and don't get me wrong, comedy is comedy. Of course, there's hecklers. I'm not a pussy. I get that. But it was like after every person, just multiple times. And I thought and we had some funny guys there. The guy before me is a very funny comic. He's runner-up and funniest in Grand Rapids right now. And I kind of ended up getting up there and I just start off like, fuck you guys. I know you're listeners. I don't give a fuck. That guy's fucking funny. And that's bullshit that you were giving them problems like that. It's one thing if they suck. You know what I mean? It's one thing if the comic is up there.
So you were taking the fans on?
I kind of did a little.
That's kind of a ballsy comic move. Dude. I've seen comics do that in person to full houses, and that's hit or miss because you can get a crowd to turn on you really quick.
Well, and especially with the fact that this show is we're a big show. I think we're good and we have a good listener base, but we're not big enough that I could just start essentially yelling at listeners and saying fuck you idiots, you're stupid, this guy, whatever. But it went over. I think it actually went over real well. That seems to be what people end up enjoying about it. And so, but the odd thing about that ended up being is that after that, dude, and that's totally on me. What I described earlier is how I didn't take as much time to prepare as I normally would. I told like one joke, and then after that, dude, I just got lost in a few new jokes I tried to say. I'll just be honest with you. I just started.
How long were you up there?
I ended up doing about 19 minutes, and I literally only told one real joke. I know.
Wow.
There was other stuff in it.
Were you telling stories or what?
Yeah, that's kind of what ended up happening. These guys I'd known for a long time. So I told some story. They told a few stories because they realized that there's 55 people here and 50 of them are Detroit Cast listeners. So they realized it'd be, on their benefit to kind of share some stories about me from the days of doing comedy in Grand Rapids and stuff. So I got up there and shared some stories about them, did a joke. Yeah. And then had it out with a few listeners on some level.
Eric, what are you talking about?
But it was still fun, and I will say this: I don't know if the cat's out of the bag now, but I kind of ended up just telling the cell phone story essentially.
Oh, so you got drunk?
Yeah, for sure. But I did that because I was doing so shitty. I was having a bad set. It's funny because I did get a lot of people tell me they thought I did good, and I appreciate that. But I'll admit that I had a bad set. I got into my jokes and I just stumbled through them a little bit. So I just let. And then some listeners just started yelling out sayings from the show. And I'm like, dude, these guys drove 2 hours not to hear you guys talk about things that 20 people care about or something. I don't know. Yeah. But, dude, I had a blast. The night was amazing. The comics had a blast, dude. These guys, I thought they all did really well. And I made some money. They made some money. And at one point, I was sitting at the table. And I've done 3 of these before. Where I like all the comics, but these guys, we were all truly are really good friends. And it was kind of cool. We really were sitting there. I felt like I was just hanging with friends, making a little money and having some fun. So
since that was recorded,
I'm not saying this. I told people I wouldn't tell it on Monday. They can listen to it.
So you're
him telling the story was recorded?
Yeah,
it's on the Facebook page. You can go look at it there.
So wait a minute. If it's on the Facebook page, why won't you tell the story here?
They can go to the
that Facebook. Doesn't make any sense. No, dude, we have more listeners here than on the Facebook page.
But because I said I would never say it on the show to a certain person. So
you pussy.
Your mom apparently hasn't told you hasn't heard you tell other hooker stories or what?
I guess not. I don't know what to say, but you know what? It was a really good night, dude. I think the people came.
He's a man of his word, I suppose.
I think that the people came, had a fun time from when I gather. And thank you, man. I always say this for real, dude. It's a big deal to get 50 plus people to come out again on a Saturday night. Some of them have seen me before, obviously. So that's really cool. And for them, if it weren't for those people, man, I don't get to do shows like that and make a little money and have a fun night. So it was a good time. I
respect the fact that you've told your mom that you will not tell that story on the air.
It's only one.
The least I can do is respect that. It's the only one. Unfortunately for you, Jay did not make that promise to your mom.
Well, I don't know. He can do it if he wants. It'd be just, why not just?
No, I'll leave it to people to go watch.
They can find it, dude. At this point, it's out there.
So at some point, maybe during the break, we can pull audio from it. If we just wanted to play a piece of the audio from the other night, dude. I mean, what's the problem with that, right? It's out there in the ether.
Maybe we can put it on the YouTube channel. What about that?
Your mom doesn't have YouTube?
I don't know, dude. I don't know what to tell you. I'd rather just not mention it on the show. But
oh god.
Okay, another weird line, but whatever.
Hey, I'm not a normal person. That's what you get with me. I'm not gonna. That just is what it is. You're right. I do have.
Nobody can do what I do.
I do have very odd lines. I have odd lines when it comes to the sex stuff and when it comes to shitting. Like you said, dude. As weird as I am, I will never go in here and take a shit while you guys are in this room. It's so weird to me. But
I'm grateful for that though.
Yeah, that's a fine line.
Yeah,
but you get what I'm saying though. Like as much weird shit as I do, I won't do that. So I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway.
Hey, you want to tow your snowmobiles or boat? You want room to fit the entire family and its hockey gear? You want to go off road and do some camping? You want to look sophisticated and hot to all your friends? And you want to do it all with class-leading comfort and safety? Then you need to lease a 2016 Ford Explorer from Zott Ford and Holly. Believe it or not, you can have all of this for just $248 for 24 months. Hurry to I-75 and exit 98 because when February ends, so does this dream come true.
Interesting weekend since we were last here doing a show Thursday. Boy, the political world kind of exploded, didn't it?
Yeah, you had the crazy debates on Thursday, which between Rubio and Trump and Cruz, got pretty heated, and then
really just Rubio. He kind of came away from that, and then that was going to be the ginormous story of the day was him taking on Trump. What a badass. And then Chris Christie endorsed Trump the next morning.
Yep.
And that kind of stole all the thunder from the Rubio thing. Interesting weekend for sure. And it's continued as Trump has gotten into it or found himself in some hot water today. Does it matter? Does it matter at this point?
It's pretty bad.
He's trying to distance himself now from the Ku Klux Klan and a former Grand Wizard.
Funny because he had the chance directly to distance himself from said Klan and said wizard, but didn't initially do so.
Well, he did.
And that's the problem.
He did on Friday. Like there was someone in the audience when he was doing I think Christie was there at one of the stump spots when he was, Christie was introducing him. And someone in the audience was like, hey, what about David Duke announcing his support for you? And he's like, yeah, I don't know anything about that, but I disavow that, I guess. Whatever. I disavow that.
Yeah, and then the next day he didn't remember who David Duke was or whether he was worth disavowing.
Yeah, exactly. So he was on with Jake Tapper this morning. We have a piece of the audio. You want to listen to this?
This week called on you to publicly condemn unequivocally the racism of former KKK Grand Wizard David Duke, who recently said that voting against you at this point would be treason to your heritage. Will you unequivocally condemn David Duke and say that you don't want his vote or that of other white supremacists in this election?
Well, just so you understand, I don't know anything about David Duke, okay? I don't know anything about what you're even talking about with white supremacy or white supremacists. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know, did he endorse me or what's going on? Because, I know nothing about David Duke. I know nothing about white supremacists. And so you're asking me a question that I'm supposed to be talking about people that I know nothing about.
But I guess the question from the Anti-Defamation League is, even if you don't know about their endorsement, there are these groups and individuals endorsing you. Would you just say unequivocally you condemn them and you don't want their support?
Well, I have to look at the group. I mean, I don't know what group you're talking about. You wouldn't want me to condemn a group that I know nothing about. I have to look. If you would send me a list of the groups, I will do research on them. And certainly I would disavow if I thought there was something wrong.
You're going to do research on the
Klan. You may have groups in there that are totally fine, and it would be very unfair. So give me a list of the groups and I'll let you know.
Okay. I mean, I'm just talking about David Duke and the Ku Klux Klan here, but
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know David Duke. I
Jake.
don't believe I've ever met him. I'm pretty sure I didn't meet him, and I just don't know anything about
Yeah,
him.
I just don't.
I've always been a fan of the letter K. Whenever it would come on Sesame Street, it was always one of my favorite letters. Very proud letter, the K. But I back to what you were asking, Jake. I just don't know anything about this group. I'll Google them after.
He sounded very much like a politician there, didn't he?
Yeah, a little bit.
Not good.
Is that something where Donald does not want to just go on air and go, no, I don't want their vote. I don't want to, like, I'll take any vote. He doesn't give a fuck where
That's
that vote's coming from.
absolutely what that was.
Yeah.
He's hedging, dude.
David Duke came out and said voting against Donald Trump at this point is really treason to your heritage. He was on his radio show. I didn't know David Duke had a radio show. He's a felon. He once ran for president as a Democrat, by the way, in 1988, before he switched parties and then went on to win the Louisiana House seat in a special election. He was part of the Klan from 74 till 1980. He says he left.
He was in Congress?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. He says he left because he couldn't stop members from doing stupid or violent things. Instead, he formed his own pride organization, the National Association for the Advancement of White People. Why wouldn't you keep with the NAACP and go with the Caucasian people? I mean, unless it's copyrighted, and I guess NAACP, the acronym is probably copyrighted. Maybe that was the problem. He tethered himself to Trump and said on the David Duke radio program, "I'm not saying I endorse everything about Trump. In fact, I haven't formally endorsed him, but I do support his candidacy and I support voting for him as a strategic action. I hope he does everything we hope he will do." Yeah, probably one that he should have just run from all the way around.
Well, and then he did like 10 minutes later, right after he realized that he was getting hit. Yeah, he tweets like he normally does.
Is this
I've
more?
done my research. I got the Google machine out. I understand who the KKK is now.
By the way, these guys, I mean, I just simply typed KKK into the Google machine, and it was amazing what came up. These guys are some really bad dudes. They're really, really bad dudes.
Really bad.
I disavow. That's what he did. He came out on Twitter and disavowed. And but is this more to Trump's thing? Like, keep the news cycle on you at all costs. It's all good for the Trump brand and business. Yeah.
That's bad. Especially when the Republicans are looking for ammunition to hit him hard right now. Like 2-3 months ago, they were all kind of kid gloving him.
Yeah.
They were afraid that he was gonna strike back at them and they'd become pariahs. But now it's like, no, hit him. Rubio especially is trying to take him down now before Super Tuesday.
Yeah, Rubio did his best impression of Donald Trump over the weekend, and continuing. I mean, it's so obvious that there's a room full of people that have gotten together and gone, okay, here's the next move. Whatever we've done before hasn't worked. And that's the thing that I can't stand about politics is knowing that nobody's trying to be their genuine self. It's about like, okay, well, this strategy is not working for us for our campaign. So let's work on a new strategy. And it's like
very manufactured. Yep.
Yes. Overnight, all of a sudden there's an entire new narrative. You heard rumblings about it for a couple days before the debate. So it was like, okay, here's the new game plan, Marco. The new game plan is we go guns a-blazing and here's your bullet points. Make sure you memorize these by Thursday night. And it's like, we're going to go after Trump University. Wow, breaking news. Trump University was a failure. Does anyone give a shit, really? But you get all these talking points and it's like, okay, here's the new tactic. And then come out the next morning and start doing all this dumb shit, which will come back to bite Marco years down the road, probably.
Like what? I mean, what?
Well, coming after attacking Trump on his spelling errors in his Twitter account or attacking him for his makeup or
his hair. He's making hair
jokes. And yeah, all that dumb shit where it's like, oh, okay, so is this the real Marco Rubio or was that the real Marco? Which one's the fake Marco Rubio? Mm-hmm. Because the one thing you can't say about Trump is like, he's just going out there and winging it.
He's been an ass the whole time.
He's been this guy the whole time, which is the refreshing thing. And the thing that I don't think a lot of people understand is like, okay, this tactic has you in third place. So let's switch it up and turn into a new guy on the stump now. And let's be hardcore Marco. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. So you're just going to
further emphasizes, why Trump is appealing to so many. It's because you see this game playing all around him and he's just the ass he is, just plowing forward.
Yeah. Yeah. which love him or hate him, it's
He's consistent.
he's consistent in his boobery. The Klan, rough weekend for the Klan all the way around.
I'd agree with that.
I tweeted that out. By all accounts, a rather tough weekend for the Klan.
I think E called it. I think that's a lazy tweet.
I disagree completely.
I think the subject matter's fine, but I think it could have been developed more. I think
there's no development.
There's no lazy tweet.
I think there is, because
He's
I think
a
we have an
lazy
example
tweeter.
of one that's a little more well developed.
You wasted characters. You left characters on the table. You've got 140 characters to be smug.
What else would I say?
Here's my
tweet.
Think about it.
It was Twitter. It's in a moment. It's like, boom. My tweet was, by all accounts, not a strong weekend for the Klan. Hashtag Oscars so white.
You've got about 35 characters left in which you could have expressed several thoughts.
But I played to the Oscars so white. I used the popular hashtag. What else was I going to say? What should I pile onto that joke?
Well, you could have said what I said. Asking one to disavow white supremacy on Oscar night is like telling them to skip turkey on Thanksgiving. At Real Donald Trump, hashtag Oscars so white. That's the more effective tweet.
It's a bit
if you
wordy.
want to tweet
It's a
about
bit wordy.
race,
it's a bit wordy in all honesty.
It can be that wordy. It's a tweet.
There's 138 characters.
By definition, tweets
You
are
used
not
up all the
wordy.
Characters.
Like it can't be almost. Like it's impossible.
As
technically.
in the context of Twitter, that's a wordy tweet. It's over wordy.
That's impossible.
You used 138
Yeah, but
of
yours is way
140
under-
characters.
yours-
I didn't do a secondary tweet.
But I
I
think-
did a
but-
single
but here's
tweet with my
How many
thought.
times did you have to
Wait a minute,
backpedal and erase
it doesn't
certain
matter.
words?
It
I'll tell you.
so
I'll tell
you
you
can
what I
fit.
did. I shortened the word "someone" to "one." Asking someone to disavow, I said asking one to disavow, and that's all I did.
I'll tell you why it's better. There's a reason why his is better. Yours is
Oh, it's clever.
well, here's the reasoning though. Not just that though. Yours is so bland that honestly, if
That
they
is
threw-
a great tweet. Okay, I'll give you that's a great tweet. It's a fucking great tweet.
Thank
It
you,
is.
sir.
Because
One more.
And Mike, yours
quick.
had potential if you just would have given it another minute.
If people
of
are
thought.
scrolling through those tweets and are like, what's up with this hashtag? Yours is just another generic one where Jay's, although long, so
It's got
everyone,
meat to it.
most
It's got
people
poultry
won't.
to it.
A lot of people won't read his, but the ones that will, I would suspect more likely he would get people to check his Twitter handle and see who he is than you. Which
Well,
you can actually see. I think you can see. Can't you go in and see how many people?
Well, they were tweeted at different times. So.
Okay.
yeah, yours was tweeted 2 hours ago and has 5 retweets. Mine was tweeted less than an hour ago and has 5 retweets as well.
Well, you're right there in the midst of the Oscars about to start. Mine was way too early in the afternoon.
Oh, thank God you tagged yours with Oscars so white as well. So
Yeah, but mine is down in the valley.
Yeah,
of-
people weren't tweeting.
you
yet,
have
probably
more
by-
favorites than me. I'll give you that. You have more favorites than I do. Do you think I underused my tweets here? Chicken pot pies stink when cooked in the microwave. Hashtag Oscars so white.
I think there's more to it. I think
I
he
actually
coulda-
like that one. I told you I liked that one.
See, he liked it.
I mean, it's an observation, but I feel like you could have done more with it.
You like at Real Donald Trump.
I'm a
at
big
Jay
believer
Detroit
in using the whole 140 characters.
I'm
a huge believer in that.
I want to get on point with my message and then send it off. I don't want to overthink it. I don't want to be backing shit up and how
That
do I
is the
shorten
bitch of
this
it
to
when
make
you're
it work.
That is the bitch
I
of
don't
it
like
when you're trying
playing
to
that
fill
game.
it up. There is some level usually an ability where you have to go in and out.
I mean, but you just saying at Real Donald Trump is a con artist, says the career politician, comical.
Yeah.
You could have done more with it.
Like what? What would you have done?
I'm not gonna tweet for you. Okay.
What about
That's what I'm gonna do?
At Real Donald Trump, I'd welcome all voters. It's called inclusion. Hashtag white supremacist votes matter.
It's fine. How about my prediction last week though? Prediction: if at Real Donald Trump wins, John Kasich as VP, Chris Christie Attorney General, and Ben Carson as Surgeon General.
I love that. I actually think there's a real possibility of that.
I like the guy who followed it up with. I'll give him some cred here. I think it's Eric. Yeah, Eric says, and at Ted Cruz for Ambassador of Transylvania.
Where's Cruz been? He's been
Yeah.
awfully silent. I mean, has there not been a full moon lately? Is that the problem? What's going on?
I don't know, man. Getting ready, trying to cover all those Super Tuesday states. It's a lot of work.
I don't appreciate you taking shots at my Twitter game. I don't want to be self-conscious of my Twitter game at this point.
You just look a little new at it to me. I don't know. Just a little new.
You look more smug. It's like you want to have the perfect tweet at all times.
Twitter is perfect for someone who's smug, though.
It is a
It
smug
just
man's game.
screams, say something
smug.
Yeah.
It really does.
It is just a way to be shitty to people.
Yes.
Like no one cares if you're like, oh my God, sunshine and rainbows
No.
today. Like nobody cares.
It's just a quick observation.
You have to be a dick to someone.
You kind of do.
Yeah.
It's part of the game.
Yeah.
E, can you handle this game? 'Cause I'm not seeing you
apparently not
tweeting
really.
much,
I know.
and I'm not seeing many followers.
I know. I had a bad weekend of Twitter for sure. I've been trying to do more, but that doesn't mean I did. Well,
you've got to be what, 2,500 now?
no,
Followers?
I'm past 700, which is an improvement, but obviously
bad.
not.
Jay, what are you at?
I'm over 3,200, but
oof.
I mean, not saying we didn't start at the exact same place, but
well, he started before you.
That's true.
He had a Twitter account long before you did. So
that's true. He was in the public eye for like a year.
Right.
I know. A few years.
Yeah. So
I know. Pretty pathetic.
So I'm sure he'll catch up. But you are doing your videos, right?
I am doing
which
videos,
we're posting
right.
on YouTube.
Right.
Your cat video got a ton of likes.
I know. Stupid Tony the cat.
Did Tony get a lot?
Yeah, I think I don't know what he's at now, but he was up to like 400, I think, dude. Just doing video of my cat. It's so like.
Well, there you have it.
I know.
That's my favorite line.
My favorite part too is the idea of people ragging on like using like the people dislike the video. Like I always think it's funny on, you know, I've even watching like I'm watching some YouTube video before.
Oh, did someone give you a thumbs down?
Well, yeah, and I'm like, but even like now, like before the show, I was watching a music video on YouTube, and it's like you look at it, it's like this one has like 300,000 thumbs up, and it's like 8,000 thumb downs, and I almost like understand giving your favorite like, oh, this is my band, thumbs up, this is an awesome video, but like I don't get like thumbing down videos. Like you watch the video and you're like, I think
screw that,
right? I just think
down.
not liking it should be enough. Like you should just be like, I don't like that video, but. No, you're right. We are. I think it's kind of a part of the idea of like you're, you know, using some of the social networking that we haven't been using as much, like in the for a while there. You know, some of the free stuff that we can do.
So look forward to more of.
Yeah, I've got another video coming up of me exchanging coins at the Coinstar. So
wow,
very exciting. I actually meant to film something on Saturday. And
I was going to say you should have filmed something of you on stage.
I know, and you know what? I kept trying to come up with ideas that I would do with me in the comics. Maybe something that I could do it like that way, but unfortunately they didn't get there early enough. And by the time they did, I just didn't come up with an idea. My own fault, being stupid, of course. But I do have a video of me coming up exchanging coins at the Coinstar, so that's exciting.
Ooh, teaser.
Titillating.
I know.
Titillating.
You and I laugh at that, but that seems to be the dumb shit that people like. He's meant for YouTube videos.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get one here at work, maybe at work at some point. Maybe be washing a car or something. I don't know. Maybe I should get a performance evaluation for my manager or something. I'll see how I'm doing so far.
That's not a bad idea. You can interview Jay and I for that.
My other job.
Oh, your other job. Okay.
I know what your evaluation would be, and I don't need to go through that.
The reason
I don't hate him, but I just don't think he's that good.
That'd be mine.
Yeah.
530 viewers now on Tony. That's
nice.
Crazy.
I'll tell you what, I'll tweet it out to all my followers, E.
Oh.
I'll do that solid for you.
Thank you. I don't. That's helping us all, though. You know, we realize that, right? It's
well, I'm just saying, I didn't. Something I didn't have to do, but I'm willing to do, unless you be a dick about it.
I appreciate that, Mike. That's very gracious of you. I did, but the problem is you have more than I do. So mine went to such a limited amount of people.
As I mentioned, the Klan under attack. My tweets are under attack, so I know how the Klan feels. And they really did kind of have a rough weekend. They outside of the whole David Duke Grand Dragon thing, one of their Grand Wizards was assaulted. I honestly don't know who's running PR for the Klan nowadays.
Grand Dragon, isn't that like a Bruce Lee movie or something? Imperial Wizard. That's what David Duke was. The Imperial. Give him his due, man.
Sorry.
Read his rank properly, sir. He worked hard. He hated for years to get that title.
He earned that title.
Come on, man.
He hated for years to get that title.
Look at these guys, man.
That should be. See, now that could be a tweet right there, dude. You name his name and dude, what is he? He's mad that they're not calling him the Grand Wizard or something. Or
would you listen to the show, please?
No.
3 people were stabbed on Saturday.
I know what happened. I'm sorry, guys.
In a scuffle between Klan members and counter protesters. So you had a Klan rally going on, and then you had people going "fuck the Klan," and they clashed, and the Klan kind of took an ass whooping. Dude, honestly, I didn't know the Klan had much of a stronghold anywhere anymore. I mean, do you really hear about the Klan anymore?
No, it doesn't look like they do. They got outnumbered quick and got their asses beat, huh?
Yeah. I mean, the Klan seems to me like, I mean, that's going back. I mean, they're like, I don't know who's running their PR department or who's in charge of promotions.
Yeah, isn't it kind of moved
just,
on to Aryan Nation kind of thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. It just seems like you don't hear much from them. And when you do, they seem very angry all the time. Every time you see them, they seem not, I don't know. They just seem angry. This was in Anaheim, California, and 12 people were arrested. 5 members of the Klan were arrested on suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon. But then they got video saying that the Klan were just basically getting their asses handed to them. And so they released them. They're like, oh, okay, you didn't hurt anybody.
Didn't one of them stab a guy with the end of the flag?
Yeah.
Like he jousted
with
him?
the eagle.
The eagle.
He had the eagle on the end of the flag. That guy's in critical.
Oof.
Yeah. The couple guys were arrested. A couple black guys were arrested because they stomped on 2 Klan members. Even if what the cop said was, even if the vast majority of our community disagrees with a particular group who visits our city, we cannot stop them from lawfully gathering to express their opinions. That was according to the police chief, Raul Cuzeda. Violence is not acceptable, and we will arrest anybody who assaults another person or commits any other crime in our city. Police were aware of the Klan rally and the counter protest as well. At one point, the Klan leader was apparently saved by a Jewish guy. And they're like, how do you like getting saved by a Jew? And he's like, thanks.
Good Samaritan situation.
Brian Levin, the director of Cal State San Bernardino Center for the Study of Hate and Extremism, he said 3 people were wounded in the confrontation. Most seriously wounded of the victims was the guy stabbed with the American eagle on the flagpole.
Damn, man, you stabbed me with an eagle.
He's in critical, man.
You can picture that, right? You can picture that eagle.
Oh, yeah.
With its wings kind of spread.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
You got poked with it.
Ugh.
These Klan guys were fighting for their lives. So here's what you had. It sounds like these guys, the Klan guys, were like, oh, yeah, there's a counter protest going on down at the park, huh? Well, let's just go down and see what we got. And so they pull up and they're like, yeah, well, let's get out of the car here and prop some signs up, get our Confederate flags to go. They didn't even get their door open. And it was just like, this mob of people came down and started whooping their asses. Look at these sons of bitches.
Oh, my God. Is that blood all over the sidewalk there?
Oh, it is.
Shit.
Look at this poor Confederate flag hat laying down here. It was knocked off some dickhead's head.
Wow.
Look, go down to some other pictures. I love it. This guy at one point is running from the mob, and there's a black guy who has a hold of that Confederate flag patch and is trying to rip it off his arm as he's trying to flee. I think that's a knife in his hand. This guy's been stabbed right here.
Ooh,
I think that's a knife in his hand.
Wow.
So
the Klansman's holding a knife?
Yeah. And this guy's got some sweet leather pants on.
Yeah,
Look
what's
at
going on there, dude?
That's the real story. Look at that. Holy shit.
He's got a studded belt. You'd think he was in a punk band in the 80s.
What's his shirt say? He does look like he's in a punk band.
I can't see.
I don't know.
Awesome, man. What a scene. Wow.
Look at him trying to rip the Confederate flag patch off his arm.
You can't be too surprised there, Klansman, can you?
No. What are the other pictures?
He looks like a grand wizard. Look at that. He had a wizard patch on. Oh, the punk rocker's about to go down, about to rip those pants.
I don't know. I don't think those pants are coming off. They're pretty tight.
Look at that blood all over the ground. Yeah, I was looking. There was one of the guys that was assaulted. I was trying to get his title. I want to give him his due. Where was it? Oh, shit.
Yeah, he looked like that's probably the guy with the flag, right? Getting hit with the eagle.
One of the Grand Dragons, some of the protesters seen kicking a man wearing a shirt that read Grand Dragon. So they went after the top guy, the Grand Dragon himself.
The dude.
Yeah. There was another one, an Imperial Dragon or something that went down in a melee too. Yeah, it was all around a rough weekend for the Klansmen.
What a bunch of assholes. Look at them with their Confederate flag patches and their dragon patches and
turtling on their backs.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't look good.
Assholes.
There's the weapon. Go back 2 pictures.
The flag. Yeah.
Wow,
dude.
Yeah.
That's nutty. Dude, I heard this being reported, I think on CNN earlier, and the story ended with like criticism of the police of all people in this.
From this story?
Yeah, because they didn't like overtly criticize, but they were like, the police will be looking at this matter and see if they could have done something different. Like, dude, of all people to criticize in this situation, I think because they say the police knew about it before and they did have some sort of presence there, but come on.
It's a free speech issue. At the end of the day,
the freaking mob decides to attack. I mean,
yeah, that's a real problem. It makes it's a hard story to talk about because you don't want to go and protect a Grand Dragon or an Imperial Wizard. It makes it hard to defend those guys, right? But that's the beauty of the country, is that people like that, just like Black Lives Matter or any other group, can go, and I'm not comparing the two for the record, but any group that wants to do something, that's the whole point of peaceful protesting. You can have a wild as shit out there opinion of everybody else, and as long as you're not bothering people, these guys apparently, as soon as their SUV was attacked, like they all were like, ah, and then they tried to jump back in the truck, and the truck sped off and left two of these dragons behind just to get pounded on. And I know people are finding that funny, but that's a problem. You don't want Grand Dragons being kicked up and down Anaheim. Christ, Disneyland is there.
3 miles away from Disneyland.
Yes.
The happiest place on earth, arguably.
And there's a Grand Dragon bleeding out on a sidewalk.
It's not good, Mike.
It's not good. Anyway, you can't help but think they're at least partly responsible. I don't want to make them out to be complete victims, but they're partly
you can't be
responsible.
surprised if somebody wants to kick you in the head if you're a KKK member.
Yeah.
Can't be shocking to you.
It's kind of along the same lines of when we do stories, and I know it pisses people off sometimes, especially women, but when it's like some chick gets shit-faced drunk at a frat party and is like, oh yeah, he asked me to come up to his bedroom, and I went up to his bedroom, and then I was assaulted. It's an outrage. And you're like, well, I know that doesn't mean that doesn't mean you should be assaulted. However, I'm saying you do have some sort of responsibility to not put yourself in a situation where, I know that's a bad example.
That is a bad example.
That's a bad example.
She's just going through life, and she should be allowed to just go through life. These guys are hate spewing dickheads.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying I think we have a responsibility. I should be able to walk down the streets and inner city streets and yell out whatever I want as a person too. But I might just get my ass kicked if I yell inappropriate shit in the ghetto.
You should.
Right? And I can't turn around and go, these assholes, they have no right to assault me. It's like, yeah, they don't. But you know what, asshole? You kind of brought it on yourself by being a dick, walking down the street inciting people. So Klansman, I don't know.
Now we're talking directly to you, Klansman.
I don't want to tell you how to run your operation, but Jesus, come on. Stick to your own hood, man.
I think maybe you affiliate with the Aryan Nation if you're the Klan.
You think they should consolidate?
Honestly, I don't think you're a standalone anymore.
Are you talking an NFC AFC merger? I'm talking about AFL merger now?
I'm suggesting it.
Wow. Boy, now that would be breaking news. That would be breaking news.
Would there be a press conference? Like a little signing, a kind of contract signing.
Yeah, it'd be covered on David Duke's radio show.
Hey, you ready to quit smoking once and for all? Great Lakes Vapor is here to make that a reality. Their e-cigs are handmade and guaranteed for life. Check them out in person off Grand River in Brighton or off Orchard Lake in Farmington, or shop online at greatlakesvapor.com and have everything you need mailed right to your door. Greatlakesvapor.com is the best place to order refills of all GLV juice, including Detroit Cast juice. Use the promo code DetroitCast. You'll get 10% off all online orders.
Did you see Hillary Clinton just annihilated?
Oh, she whomped him.
Oh, she crushed the Burn.
The Burn is
Burn's in trouble.
Yeah.
He's in trouble. Hillary Clinton, she is looking to, as we get ready for Super Tuesday, which is upon us, she coasted to a win in South Carolina on Saturday, beating the shit out of Bernie Sanders. 50 points she beat him by. Record-breaking number of black voters came out to support her.
Didn't she get like 9 out of 10 black voters?
Something like that. Yeah. Oof. They didn't get as strong of a turnout with the young votes, but they did win the young vote. We won the young ones. We got the black young ones. We care about the affairs of the young people.
I really like your Bernie Sanders, by the way. Just FYI.
Thank you. He admitted that I got decimated. I was decimated.
God, he's just like...
Well, no question. I mean, let me be really clear. We did really, really badly with older African-American voters. I mean, we got decimated. On the other hand, looking for the bright side. On the other hand, if you look at the young people, the black young people and the whites, we did much better. She had 73.5% share of the vote to Sanders' 26%.
That's an ass whooping.
Yeah, politics. Oh my God,
that's kind of what everybody expected all along. You know, more than that, even 85 to 15, maybe.
Yeah.
So she's getting her groove here as we go into Super Tuesday.
Yeah. They called it like immediate as soon as the polls closed. They were like, shut it down. They knew he was gone. He split, and she went up on stage and was chanting or screaming out, you know, tomorrow this campaign goes national. It's just like,
she's starting to hit the Republicans now and not mention him at all, really. And she's just starting to look at it like the general election.
Yeah.
America is great. We don't have to make it great again.
Oh yeah, that's right. She did say that. What you're hearing on the other side is we need to make America great again. Well, I got news for you. America always was great. And they're like, yay.
We have to make America whole.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying.
She did. And seeing those nerds standing behind her, who are these assholes? Has the sign business gone overboard?
The sign business?
The sign business.
Yes.
I'm tired of the sign business, the pre-manufactured sign business. Needs to
what
stop.
does it matter? You're
Like,
watching.
It used to be one thing when the WWF and people would make their own signs and hold them up and but now it's like everybody's issued their dumb Hillary sign and everyone's got their blue arrow sign and they all just stand behind her like ah. I mean, they do it for all of them, for all these assholes.
Yeah.
It's not exclusive to Hillary, but you can't turn these things on without seeing people holding their cell phones up and recording, which we're used to, and these dumb signs at every fucking event. The other thing that she's dragging around the country besides her fat ass is
and her
and Bill, is are all these black women, these 5 black mothers
whose children have been shot.
Yes, who have died at the hands of gang violence. So she's pretending to give a shit about these people and and traipsing around the country. I want to take a minute to personally thank the 5 brave mothers who have been with me on the campaign trail. And then she goes down the list of these asswipes who have been traipsing around the country with her. She was with Sabrina Fulton, Trayvon Martin's mother, who that's fine. If you whoever you're getting support
Sabrina
from.
Martin.
Oh. Yeah, no, there's a pattern here you're gonna see, Jay. Don't get hung up on that. Sabrina Fulton, Trayvon Martin's mother.
Got it.
Yeah.
Fulton hyphen Martin?
No, just
Fulton.
Just Fulton. Yeah. But the way Hillary positions it is what I have a problem with. She's like, this poor young Trayvon Martin who was murdered for walking home. It's like, well, yeah. I mean, if you want to paint it that broadly, sure, I suppose. But I mean, there was a scuffle. He was pounding fucking George Zimmerman's head into the cement. I mean, like it ended up with him being shot, but he wasn't like, there's another one of them walking home. How dare he? And shot down like he was just
another one of them walking home.
Look at him walking home with his hoodie. I'll get him. Yeah, I mean it paints it like as if black people just walking down the street. Now, George Zimmerman, by all accounts, is kind of a shithead.
Kinda.
Everything that you hear about him, you're like, yeah, I don't like that guy. But you know, he was an overzealous neighborhood watch asshole and
wannabe
cop and didn't know the, you know, and then leaned on that law. But to just paint it like, you know, oh yeah, he was just walking home from his girlfriend's house and was shot down for that. That's the reason he was shot and killed. I think is I don't know.
That's a shorthand rendition of the story.
Yeah,
she's got a lot to say. She needs to move on.
She was also joined by Geneva Reed-Veal.
Geneva Reed-Veal.
Yeah. You'll recognize her as the mother of Sandra Bland.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Who was killed in police custody. She died while in police custody. And I'm like,
she hung herself.
Wait a minute. You can't just generally throw that she was killed in police custody out there. Yeah, she was obtained and she was in jail. And you could go back and forth on whether or not that was a lawful arrest or why the cops had stopped her. But she hung herself in jail. Like that. again, just painting that broadly.
Complete speculation that it was anything other than that.
Yeah.
Like the Trayvon thing, you can argue about the facts and all that. And, you know, it may be that Zimmerman was the aggressor and all that. But this one, there's nothing to suggest that they killed her.
Yeah.
They put her in jail. Yes, you're right. And there was, you know, people can argue about why she was stopped, but she hung herself, man.
Gwen Carr was also on the stump with Hillary. Gwen Carr, mother of Eric Garner.
Hyphen Garner?
No, not Carr. No. You got that wrong, Jay. Common mistake. Don't feel bad. Gwen Carr, mother of Eric Garner. And Eric Garner, young Eric Garner, who was choked to death for selling loose cigarettes.
The dude couldn't breath.
I understand he couldn't breath, but to just go out and say that he was choked to death for selling loose cigarettes is not quite the real story of what happened to Eric Garner. Now, we can argue the points back and forth that was it handled as it should have? Was it handled properly? No, probably not. But to say that it's like
probably not.
Look at that guy over there.
Probably not.
Selling loose cigarettes. I'll show him. And he was no longer with us because he was selling loose cigarettes. No, he was arrested and convicted like 68 times for selling loose cigarettes. Would have been a 69th if he didn't put up the fight he did. I'm just, is what it is.
Did they introduce that mother as the nation's newest multimillionaire? No.
The nation's newest 1%er. Let's give it up for Gwen Carr.
Congrats. Good for her.
See, I can't breath, lady.
Gwen Carr walks in all Prada and Gucci gear.
Maria Hamilton was also there, mother of Dontre Hamilton, shot by police in Milwaukee. He's the
kid at the oh no, I was thinking that was the Cleveland kid at the playground with the gun.
No,
I don't remember this one.
This one was
Milwaukee. Are you sure?
Yeah, Dontre Hamilton was shot by a police officer in Milwaukee back in 2014. I believe Dontre, and they found Chris Mann not responsible for this. They ended up not bringing charges, which obviously incited people or, outraged everybody. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Dontre had mental issues and was sleeping on a bench in a park. And so police were called. They're like, what's this dude doing here? And so a couple cops came there, talked to him and decided that everything was fine and left. And a third cop came up and patted him down, at which point there was a scuffle, and he tried to get his baton and keep Dontre at bay. Dontre ended up getting a hold of that baton and whacking the cop in the neck, at which point the cop pulled his gun.
Damn, man, you whacked me in the neck!
At which point Christopher Manny there, the officer, unloaded like 10 rounds into the kid. And so there was outrage there, but they deemed it self-defense, Again, you could argue about that, but and then the last one, Lucy McBath, mother of Jordan Davis.
Beth Davis?
No, that's common mistake. Don't feel bad about that, Jay. No, Lucy McBath is the mother of Jordan Davis.
I don't know Jordan Davis. Definitely.
Yes, you do. He's the one that was shot in his car. He was with like 4 of his buddies cranking their fucking music, not at the hands of a cop. A cop didn't kill him.
Oh, yes, I do remember this at a convenience store.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the guy and his girlfriend stopped at this convenience store. She went into the store and all of a sudden shots rang out, and he apparently had pulled his gun and shot into this car.
And he tried to invoke the same Zimmerman law that got Zimmerman off.
Yeah.
Like, no, dude. So that guy got convicted.
He did. Yeah. He was convicted. Tragic story for sure. But I think the guy that was ended up being convicted for that and charged with murder and convicted, got a guilty from that, was saying that the kid had opened the door and was talking shit and then said, I'll kill you, was saying, I'll kill you. And he pulled something out that I thought was resembled a gun, and they never found a gun. The defense will still to this day say, well, they left the scene for a while. They probably ditched the weapon, blah, blah, blah. And then, whatever. But anyway.
What I'd like to know is what is the interaction after the press conference or whatever? How much interaction is Hillary really having with these ladies? Is it just she goes to her boss and is send them to their wherever they're in? You know what I mean? Are they sitting there having coffee at night and just talking about the issues? Or
right up until they said, yeah, we're with you, Hillary. And then it's finally
Right.
put them on their bus.
Yeah, what does she have in common with them? They're all arguably women.
They're all millionaires now.
Yeah.
Arguably women.
They're all recent millionaires.
I mean,
Even Hillary.
Are some of them like I'm assuming these all these women seem to actually be in the dudes. So that's not she doesn't have that in common with them.
No.
Eric Garner's oldest daughter, who I actually kind of liked, Erica Garner, when I saw her comment early on in that case. She didn't seem to think it was a race thing necessarily. I don't know, for whatever reason. I know people have shit on me for saying that on this show. They're like, fuck you. She digs Black Lives Matter. I'm just talking about the comments I heard her make. I thought were
seemed reasonable.
They seemed reasonable. Thank you.
Because I think if I remember right, she was like, not a race thing, but a police brutality thing. And it goes beyond whether they're black or white.
Yeah. And
right?
it was, yeah, sort of. And it was fresh off the Mike Brown bullshit with what was the guy screaming on the hood of the car over and over and over? Burn this bitch down. Burn this bitch down. Burn this bitch down. Burn this bitch down.
Yeah.
Burn this bitch down. Like it was fresh on the heels of burn this bitch down guy.
So she was aware of that and didn't want to incite.
Yeah.
And I think saw the importance in just kind of like treading carefully.
Yeah.
So that's what you kind of
picked up on. Was like,
like, yeah, all right, that's
it's reasonable. It was classy. It was kind of level-headed,
wise.
Yeah, and you could see burn this bitch down. Burn this bitch down. You could see where the family, if anybody's going to have that kind of burn this bitch down attitude, it's going to be family members, and I understand that. And so for her to come out, and say what she did, but anyway, she's stumping for. She's not following her Nana, who's out there stumping for the witch Hillary. She's out there for Bernie Sanders.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah. Yep. What's Bern gonna do? What are we gonna do? What do I need to do? For Christ's sakes, I'm getting murdered by this cunt witch out here. How did I get beat so soundly?
Because for some reason, Hillary is able to. The Clintons are synonymous with black people somehow. Whatever.
Yeah. I did everything I was supposed to do. I met with their leader. What else could I do? I had half a cup of coffee with the fucking guy.
Their leader.
What's his name? The Reverend guy. You told me, meet with him. He speaks for the rest of them. I did that. I've been in every shithole neighborhood in this goddamn country, and nobody will vote for me. The young ones will. How do I get the old black to vote for a 74-year-old Jew from New York? How do we do it?
I saw a quote from Sharpton after coming out of that meeting. He said something like, he gave all the right signals. He said he signaled all the right things.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
Wow.
He kissed the ring, I guess.
How do we make them all feel the burn and come out and stump for the burn? How do we do that? They're really religious in the South. We need the old ones. How do we get the old ones to feel the burn? How about this? How about we take wood, we fashion it into the form of a cross because they're very religious in the South. We put stakes on all their lawns, light them on fire, and say, feel the burn. We do it to all the old blacks in the South.
No, Bernie, don't do that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah,
they'll all feel the burn. If we just do that, maybe we'll gain a lot of votes for us.
It's a bad move, Bernie. Don't do that.
Oh.
God.
Poor Bernie. Nobody's feeling the burn. Is he done? He's done, isn't he?
We might know in 2 days.
Yeah. Anyway. We will know in 2 days, and it sounds like there's very little chance of him doing anything. It's interesting though. Should we shake it up and not be so negative?
Yeah, what do we got?
What?
I like this story. Is this the NFL Combine?
Yeah.
Yes!
Dude, I gotta tell you,
don't fast forward. We're not just going to talk sports here.
We can.
It's beyond sports.
It's beyond sports.
It is, dude. I'm telling you.
Beyond sports.
It just shows you sometimes, there's bigger things than just the X's and O's.
These 40-yard dashes.
People sit there all day and watch these.
I used to be one of them.
They do them by position, right? They'll do all D linemen, like back to back to back, and they'll analyze how that guy ran, and and they'll pick apart every 10th of a second. Oh my God, these got to be disappointed in that. And they're on full display. They're in like Under Armour.
Oh yeah, it's insane, dude. Like
they'll have like LB for linebacker on their chest with a number. And then all the linebackers will run the 40.
And what's that fabric called? Why can't I think of it? They're wearing
Spandex.
Spandex.
Okay.
Yes, they're wearing spandex outfits essentially.
They're trying to get as light, and they want every hundredth of a second matters when you're talking about these. What separates first round, third round, fifth round. So everything they want to be as light as possible. They get running shoes on. I mean, it's things
not
like
even
this that
football,
piss
that's
people
the funny
off because
thing.
it's like you look at someone like Tom Brady who absolutely sucked at the combine. It's like it's just not a measure. Who was the Colt that shot up the ranks years and years ago? You'd know, Jay, for sure. It was in the 90s or whatever, but he shot way up because he had such a great combine and then was kind of a nothing player.
But they want to shave time off, and so they wear as little as possible, including underwear.
Yeah,
apparently.
And dude, I'm telling you, I used to watch this event go on every year, and it was hilarious how many guys would just be flopping around in their underwear as they run this.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mark and I used to laugh our asses off watching this shit all afternoon. But this is Chris Jones from Mississippi State. Is that who we're watching here?
Yeah.
6'5", 310, and he's going to run the 40 here.
Very surprised Chris Jones came out this year. He really highly recruited kid. He's almost 6'6", 310. He's a little high hip. You can see how long-legged he is. He's a little stiff in the hips, but boy, is he stout again. Oh, that hurt.
He's laughing.
He ends up on his chest. He dove across the line.
All right, trainer's there. Take a look, but it looks like he's all right.
Let's look at that again in slow mo.
He's really stout against the run.
Why would he have dove there?
Wow. That slide is now illegal in Major League Baseball.
His dick and balls are just completely hanging out. That dude got to about the 20, and his, noose, his 14-inch noose was just knocking against his knee.
Fall down hard and long.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Jesus,
fell down
Christ.
hard and long.
Why would they-
Wow,
that's awesome.
Oh
Dude,
my God!
If you watch that again, the first angle, I mean, his dick is absolutely out of his pants and just slapping against his thigh.
Jones came out this year. He's really highly recruited kid. He's almost 6'6",
Watch it,
310.
watch it.
There.
You can see how long-legged he is. He's a little stiff in the hips, but boy, is he stout again.
Ooh, God, man, I get the move. You want to like jump on the ground so nobody can like see it, but turf burn, right?
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, he definitely.
What do you care though when you have a huge dick? It's like one of those things. Like I guess, what does he care, right?
He tries to kind of grab it as he crosses the line. Look at him just hanging there.
Oh shit! That's
all that
insane.
junk, just a pile of junk hanging
just
there.
shit hanging down. It looks like, I mean, he at the end he looks like a water skier, or he looks like a boat dragging a water skier behind him.
Oh
Poor
my
son of a
God,
bitch.
dude. Poor son of a bitch, my ass, dude. He's in the NFL Combine. He's got a huge dick. Now we all know it.
Now we all feel
best thing
bad for him.
right.
You're right.
Was this in question? He's 6'5", 310.
Yeah, but this is the best thing that could ever happen to him. You never know, though. You never know, and now we do know. Now all the girls do know. 100%.
I would think Jay, you can speak for this community.
No, don't saddle me with this again. You know.
Well, I'm just
That's
saying.
not cool.
Wouldn't you know?
I got to be the guy with the big dick.
If you were to run a 40, if we were to take your underwear away, put you in some,
I'd pull a
skinny-
hammy in the first 5 feet.
right?
All right,
but
assuming I don't.
assuming you don't, and you're trucking. I mean, wouldn't you know? Like, as the friction of your thighs, your inner thighs get going, and your cute little spandex start riding as you're running, there's a strong possibility that you're going to fall out of them.
Yeah, and I think you just run through it. You just have to.
Yeah.
I don't know. He did look very surprised though, ditching it like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he lost everything. Like both balls and dick fell out one side of those underwear. It's high def too. You can watch the video and check it out for yourself. That's great. So another successful day at the combine, huh?
Right.
Why don't we take a quick break? Got an update on a story we talked about a while ago, last year. A person who made some news on MSNBC. Careful with your comments.
Ooh, was that an annoying one?
Yeah,
You
very
guys will
annoying.
remember this one.
Some more, an outcome to that story and what's going on with her. We'll get into that and more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey friends, it's me, Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zott Ford and Holly. As all of you know who have met me before, I'm no god or anything close to it. However, what I am is a TDC fan just like you. As a big thank you to the listeners who continue to show us a ton of love and support, I want to offer you the lowest payment on an F-150 I've seen in years. Right now, only at Zott Ford, you can lease the all-new 2016 Ford F-150 Super Crew. Yes, I said Super Crew XLT 4x4 for only $195 per month for 24 short months. Yes, just $195 for an F-150 Super Crew only at Zott Ford and Holly. Peep our outlandish deals and massive inventory at ZottFord.com. Hey friends, it's me, Steve Gabarra, the
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
What do?
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast.
I guess we figured out a new way to ingest smelling salt.
Or a new way to make sure we never do again.
I can't believe you put it up your ass like that.
It
I would not have
stinks.
done that.
It burns. Wow, that was bad. No, I did not stick it up my ass.
Pipery.
Yeah, I put one in a. Kadog had the brilliant idea. I wonder what it would taste like if you
put it in a pipe.
If you put it in the pipe and inhaled it that way. And I just did the most baby hit of it, and it was like, I mean, it almost choked me out. Felt like Eric Garner.
Well, we discovered a couple days ago when you breathe it in through your mouth, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
We've been sniffing these things, but yeah, through the mouth, it's
yeah, it's bad. Anyway.
Oh boy. Disturbing new teen trend, butt chugging cough syrup.
Yeah, I've seen this. Not in person, but I've seen
Does that
it.
get you drunk? Is that the point?
Yeah, I think so. I think that was just like a segue of what you're going to be doing with the smelling salts.
Yeah. I do not see myself doing a handstand with Jay
and
inserting.
I'm not that guy inserting. No,
You're not. I don't picture you as an inserter. Honestly, I don't. Yeah, I don't see you pitching at all in that
Well,
context.
catching that. Are you saying
Maybe
suggesting that you might catch?
Well, more so than pitching, but yeah, I don't even think I want to see that video, Kadog. Thank you, though.
Thank you for offering that. Offering us the
914,000
opportunity. That's all you can do,
people.
really, is just give us the opportunity.
Yeah.
We're going to decline that one.
Yeah, we're gonna pass on that one. Thank you, though, Kadog. Nice work. What we're not gonna pass on is Melissa Harris Perry Perry.
Harris Perry.
She's officially been shit canned from MSNBC.
What do you have to do to get shit canned from MSNBC?
I know. Didn't they take on Brian Williams?
Yeah. Isn't that Chris
uh,
Matthews?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the bottom of the barrel as far as ratings go, which is probably more so the problem. But her show was in doubt, they said, after Friday's show when she said she would not appear for the weekend in response to several weeks of preemptions by the network. So she's black and focuses mostly. Her stories focus mostly on race, gender, and politics, just kind of whipping people into a frenzy. That's like her gig. Yeah,
She's a
Al
barrel of
Sharpton was there.
monkeys. Just a lot of fun.
Oh, tons of fun. Careful with the word choices.
Oh, no. Wow, geez.
Al
Shut
Al Sharpton was there for a long time. Is Al still there? He might even still be. I thought he was fired.
Was there where he was coughing up hairballs back in the day?
Yes,
And not
exactly.
not able to read the teleprompter.
She had a lot in common with Mr. Sharpton, as a matter of fact. I think she owed $70,000 in back taxes. Now he owed $5 or $6 million, but whatever.
It's all relative.
Yeah,
she'll get there.
She took to Twitter to confirm she is leaving with the hashtag Nerdland. Farewell, Nerdland. I don't get the reference. Inviting diverse new voices to table was a privilege. Grateful for years of support and criticism. She told the New York Times that she is not in direct communications with anyone at MSNBC. Terms of severance are still being negotiated. She sent an email to her staff, I guess, on Friday saying she would boycott her own show in protest of the network's treatment of it. Our show was taken without comment or discussion or notice in the midst of an election season. How dare they? In this exciting and unpredictable presidential primary season. So this is a quote from the company. In this exciting and unpredictable presidential primary season, many of our daytime programs have been temporarily upended by breaking political coverage, including MHP, which is her initials. That's according to the network. Network spokesman said Harris Perry had been scheduled to appear this weekend. She said in an email, "I will not be used as a tool for their purposes. I am not a token mammy or little brown bobblehead. I am not owned by Lack Griffin or MSNBC. I love our show. I want it back. I have wept more tears than I can count, and I find this deeply painful. But I don't want back on the air at any cost. I am not willing to return. I am willing to return when that return happens under certain terms."
Unless you do what we do, you are beholden to bosses at some point who are going to be able to tell you, what you do, essentially. And maybe not in like specific terms, but overarching terms, they're going to tell you.
Yeah.
I've never been a part of these shows, but I imagine you have. I mean, you kind of know how they approach, and they go, well, stay away from this, stay away from that. And you guys were able to navigate that better than probably anyone.
Yeah, and you know what it takes? It takes you deliver, and then you get to call your own shots. Like if you're not pulling really good ratings, that's when they'll fight for you. That's when your opinion matters. But they're going to do what they can. I've often said it. If Riff thought they could get better ratings airing white noise than they could with the Drew and Mike show, they would air white noise.
Of course.
Like they don't give a fuck about the content or who's delivering it. There's no loyalty. There's not that's and almost as it shouldn't be. But you know, for the comments I read from her, it's like you would think that she was some
like Oprah or something.
Yeah, some powerhouse. It's like, no, this is an unprecedented election season we've seen. The coverage is nonstop. Literally 24 hours a day on all of the news networks, on all the cable news networks. It's round the clock. And even on the morning shows and the talk shows, like this is what's being talked about. For you to think, Melissa, that your show is above that, like, oh my God, I need to talk about, you know, this thing that's happening in my community is more important than, no, it's not.
Well, you didn't mention the thing that caused this thing to come to a head. It was her wanting to talk about Beyonce and the Super Bowl halftime thing.
Right.
As opposed
that was the
to,
last straw, it sounds
was it?
like.
Okay.
Yeah. The formation video you're talking about, which was basically all about Beyonce's take on Black Lives Matter. I mean, they were talking about New Orleans and blah, blah, blah. It was a huge story at the Super Bowl. It was a huge story the day after the Super Bowl. She wanted to talk about it on her show, which they ended up doing. Her executive producer fought for that story, and they dedicated a window of time for it. That was her last day on the air because they wanted to talk about what was going on in the political world. So apparently, and that's not enough to terminate shit. So obviously there was much more going on behind the scenes with people before that. And they think maybe this was the last straw, that she'd been raging for months with executives.
Well, her comments that mention like autonomy. I want complete autonomy. Like that just shows a complete disconnect, a refusal to follow any sort of formatting.
Yeah,
given to her from anyone above. And as you say, if you're not pulling the ratings, you don't have that kind of discretion.
And you're a weekend anchor, I think. Like you just don't. That's just not your call ever. It's never going to be your call. So many people are saying, yeah, her deal technically with them expires in October. Sources are saying it's highly unlikely that and I can promise you she will not be back. The statement sounded like a door closer to me. She wrote that the show is effectively and utterly silenced and that she refused to return this weekend. Now MSNBC would like me to appear for 4 inconsequential hours to read news that they deem relevant without returning to our team any of the editorial control and authority that makes our show distinctive. While MSNBC may believe that I am worthless, I know better. I will not sell short myself or this show. I am not hungry for empty airtime. I care only about substantive, meaningful, and autonomous work. When we can do that, I will return, not a moment earlier.
Oh, the drama.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck, bitch. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Normally, I wouldn't care about some shitty anchor on MSNBC who gets blown out. But she came onto our radar a while ago. You'll remember, she's the one that took offense, and I think we've got video of it. She took offense at the guy that was talking about hard work.
Yes.
It's like, well, that's a trigger word.
This is back in the Paul Ryan VP days, right?
Yeah, it was Alfonso Aguilar. If there's somebody who's a hard worker when he goes to Washington, it's Paul Ryan, was the point the guy was making. Yeah, he's a hard worker when he goes to Washington. And she took offense to that.
Trying to wrangle the current Republican Party into line.
But let's be fair. If there's somebody who is a hard worker, when he goes to Washington, is Paul Ryan. Not only works with Republicans, but Democrats. You know as well, very well that I work on the immigration issue, trying to get Republicans to support immigration reform. Paul Ryan is somebody who has supported immigration reform, has worked with somebody like Luis Gutierrez. Luis Gutierrez is very respectful, speaks highly of Paul Ryan. This is somebody who's trying to govern.
Alfonso, I feel you. But I just want to pause on one thing, because I don't disagree with you that I actually think Mr. Ryan is a great choice for this role. But I want us to be super careful when we use the language hard worker, because I mean, I actually keep an image of folks working in cotton fields on my office wall because it is a reminder of what hard work looks like. So I feel you that he's a hard worker. I do, but in the context of relative privilege. And I just want to point out that when you talk about work-life balance and being a hard worker, the moms who don't have health care, who are working on,
I understand that.
But we don't call them hard workers. We call them failures. We call them people who are sucking off the system.
That's right.
Really, y'all do. That is really what you guys do as a
That
party.
is very unfair. I think we cannot generalize about the Republican Party. I agree.
That's true. Not all Republicans. That is certainly true.
Mitt Romney did a terrible job
I don't even think
about
it was
connecting with the middle class. But if Paul Ryan, who comes
Wow, dude.
That's
I forgot
the,
about
that's
that,
the
but-
lens through which you look.
Yeah.
Through which you see the world.
That is
I'm
a
so
victim
sorry.
lens, if you've ever heard one, right there. Is that the picture she keeps on her desk? Or you just grabbed a Cottonfields picture.
Jesus,
Stock
dog.
photo, Kadog.
Wow.
Oh,
dog. Just wow, that was fast.
There are so many hard workers on Google image search.
Oh, what a piece of shit. I have no time for hosts like that, you know, with an agenda and a message to push and blown out, you know, good for her. Took what was probably a decent gig and blew it out thinking you're
She'll end
bigger
up on
than you
some
are.
shit podcast somewhere.
Yeah. Well, then she can do what she wants, I
Yeah,
suppose.
exactly.
That's the good thing.
And people cannot download if they so choose.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of TV news and embarrassing moments, Haley Jackson. I have not seen the video of this yet. That's gone rather viral.
Oh, okay. This one, no, I've not seen it either.
She was she's a NBC correspondent. Was doing a live shot from Tennessee talking about Chris Christie backing Donald Trump over the weekend, and all of a sudden, snot starts pouring down her nose.
Well, it's cold and flu season.
Do you have the video of it?
Live news is awesome.
Oh my God, dude, that's not just.
values, adding this is big government, anti-Second Amendment, pro-choice. More importantly, though, this is terrible for Rubio. This
Sniff, go sniff,
arguing
like this.
that he cannot line up
Look at
the
him
establishment.
zooming in.
That's the same argument.
Holy
from John
crap!
Kasich
Oh my God! Oh my God!
For Marco Rubio. So the question now is what this does to that
How do you not
establishment
feel
vote.
that?
I don't know.
Holy crap!
Images where there's a red circle around it.
Jersey values.
Oh, that
joining
makes me
up with
gag,
New
dude.
York values, adding this is
Yeah.
How do you not-
government,
right there, sniff.
Anti-Second Amendment,
Just-
pro-choice.
just-
More importantly, though, this
Hand.
is
Wipe,
terrible for
wipe, wipe.
Rubio, this aide continued, arguing that he cannot line up
Oh,
the establishment.
no.
Here it
That's
comes.
the same
Here it
argument
comes.
that we heard from
That
John
thing's like, I'm
Kasich.
outta here.
I'm
outta here.
A nightmare for Marco Rubio. So the question
God
now
damn
is
it.
what this does to that establishment vote.
They did. They zoomed in, didn't they?
Ugh.
Live
That is
news
so gross.
is awesome.
Yeah,
I
live-
love live news.
Yeah, live news.
You
is
ever had
great.
something fall out of your nose like that?
Oh,
No, you didn't know.
Well,
Right, you
Not
feel
on
it
live
coming and
TV.
you grab it and do something, right?
I guess on like you're walking around in the winter, like totally snowing. You've had runny nose or something.
Yeah, but that's like thick. There's substance there,
dude.
you
I
know?
could honestly vomit right now. That is so gross,
Wow, we found what Mike really hates, huh?
dude.
Not.
Ugh. She tweeted a picture later of her online shopping cart with $53 worth of tissues and a book called "Surviving Your Season of Shame."
I'm surprised that didn't land on her lower lip, to be honest.
Yeah, good point.
That was substantial. And that's what's weird about it is everybody's had like a drip, like you just described, walking
Yeah.
around outside in the cold.
It's
But that
usually
was
clear.
substance.
It's usually
Yeah.
clear, and it just kind of falls out, and you think it was a raindrop.
Oh my
That
God. That was like what you get when you blow your nose.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Oh, that was bad. And how do you not feel it when you're doing a live shot? You're standing there, and this thing is falling like 2 inches down.
Yeah,
from
and
your
you
nose.
she does not feel it because you don't see the wheels churning. Usually, a situation like that, you see the person kind of like do something where you can tell they're
Yeah.
thinking about it, but she didn't even consider it, man.
Yeah,
Because what I would have considered is if I grab at this, does it then string out?
I know.
Because am I gonna be able to pull this and get it all?
Get it all. Because if you can't get it all, I mean, is it one of
do
those?
you dab at it? Do you dab it back up? Do you sniff and dab at the same time?
I think the play is and then if that fails, you got to go shirt sleeve and go like that. But you run the risk of it just being like a 6-inch
Yes.
long trail on your shirt
Just
sleeve.
snailing out toward your arm as you bring it away. You have to at least sniff. I mean, you've got to give it a try. This is another chick with snot coming out of her nose.
As these temperatures drop here,
See, that's typical. Oh, it's running into her mouth. My God. It's an epidemic. It happens all the time.
Oh my God.
You got to make a move.
Alexandria, you're absolutely.
Oh, Alexandria. Wow. That one's more forgivable because it's like I said, that clear substance that I talked about.
Yeah, but she just talked right through it.
The other one, go
Well, and
ahead.
she's in a very obvious cold weather too, though. The other one wasn't.
Look at her go. Look at it. It's just coming. You've got to feel that right now. You feel it now. Wipe it. It's on your microphone. You're
It's
watching
on-
it fall onto the card that you're reading.
It is on the microphone.
It's on your nose, your upper lip, your bottom lip,
Your microphone and your card.
and your cue card.
Damn.
Wow. They must be so uber focused on what they're doing.
Say Uber.
Uber.
Yeah, you got mace, motherfucker.
Let's see if I could have something hanging out of my nose, and then if I could just continue on and forget that it's
Oh, you
there.
can't.
I don't think it's possible either.
Hey, Zot Ford loves the Detroit Cast and has the best deals in town, period. We won't waste time talking about Big E's greasy plume, although it is greasy. Chaz's athletic frame, although it is not athletic. Or the King's shouldering his life's challenges. Boy, do I shoulder them. Instead, simply get down to I-75 and exit 98, where right now you can get a 2016 Ford Fusion SE for just $109 a month for 24 months.
Oh, shit.
Go check out their stupid deals and massive inventory at zotford.com. We got another snot lady.
Back it up, Kanog. What do we got here?
Our city, but we hear he'll be going straight back to the airport tonight. Actually, this truck behind me.
Dude.
Oh, she went with
Wow, she went with the head toss.
Wow, that's a ballsy
She
move.
tossed it out.
Can I see that again?
Oh my God.
That's a dangerous move. I respect her for that.
Is ready and all packed up to go with all.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, back it up. Pay attention. She tries really quick to.
Yeah,
she
she
tries
does.
to, and she realizes it's not working. This is a right there.
Right. Yep.
Wow,
And
she
then,
tossed it. She did a hair toss and tossed the snot too. Is it a mortal sin to just grab your nose? Is that like hammered into your head? You do not put your hand to your face. Why are they not grabbing their noses?
I don't know.
Even
Did you
like
see-
cover it and talk through it, you know?
or
It'd be
drop the
better.
mic and walk away in shame. Did you see the last part of that video?
Yeah. Where it just falls out.
oh my God. That was a huge.
Do you know how dangerous? I give her mad props. Do you know how dangerous the head whip snot removal move is? You run the risk of what, Jay? What's the risk you
Hitting
run? there?
somebody.
No.
End up in your hair.
End up with a string, looks like someone shot a load in your fucking cheek. I mean, you got to whip with such momentum to toss that.
Yeah. It's kind of like the snot rocket, you know. You snot rocket, and you end up with, if you do it wrong, you end up with it all over your
All
chest.
over you. Yeah.
Yeah, the head whip, snot rocket, both very dangerous.
I had no idea what an epidemic this was. It only appears to strike women too.
There must be something hammered into them, like do not reach to your face. Whatever you do, you do not put your hand to your face.
I've never heard that. I've met plenty of these women over the
Then
years.
why aren't they grabbing this?
I don't know.
It's the easiest move. You sniff and reach.
Agreed. It's making me want to do it now.
Come on. It's crazy.
Remember this story we did a while ago, Jay, with the 5 guys gang raping that chick?
Oh yeah,
in New York,
Brooklyn.
I think it was Brooklyn. Yeah, in the park. Do you remember that story?
Yeah, totally. It was like his dad. His dad was, or her dad was possibly getting it on with his daughter, essentially.
Yeah,
possibly.
The 5 guys
Allegedly.
had approached a man and his daughter at night, Brooklyn playground, ordering the man away at gunpoint before gang raping the 18-year-old woman in public. That was the story the first day. I remember that first day. It was like, what kind of monster animals? Well, and the outrage grew even stronger when they released surveillance store footage like right before that happened. The kids were in like a convenience store, like joking around and laughing and high-fiving with each other. So that added to the public outrage. The 5 boys were arrested. 2 of them turned in by their own parents. The mayor and critics demanded to know why the police hadn't acted sooner. Before the anger could even cool, they say the case began to fall apart as questions mounted. And it turns out that, and I think we fell off the wagon with this story fairly early on.
The dad reported it very slowly in a non-emergent way. Remember, he like kind of sauntered into a party store. Hey, could I use your phone? Guy's like, no. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
We're
Right.
like, are you kidding me? Your daughter's getting raped.
Yeah. And they
allegedly
pointed a gun at him and scared him. And then he found a cop. I'm trying to remember what because the cops went to the scene. They couldn't find anything. And anyway, all of a sudden, word started trickling out like from the kids camp, like, hey man, we stumbled up into this bitch banging this dude. And they were like, hey man, can we get some of that?
And she gave it up.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, remember that?
Can I get in on this?
Can I get in on this? I think that was the quote.
Was it really? I just
something like that. It was something along those lines. Well, the kids filmed a lot of it. They had video. The snippets of the cell phone video suggested that the sex was consensual.
Imagine the good fortune just happening upon that. Right?
Great, dude.
Yeah, you stumble into a park.
That would be fucking.
And people were questioning, what's this father doing with his 18-year-old daughter
sitting in a park at night?
9 o'clock
there
at
was
night.
alcohol, I think, involved and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
They claimed they had been set upon by the teenagers who brandished a gun and ordered the father to leave. And then they forced her at gunpoint. One of them got to bang her, and then she blew the others. Seems fair enough, right? The investigators interviewed the teenagers. They claimed that there was no gun and that the chick willingly had sex with them. Most shocking of all, the teens told police that, hey man, we walked upon this couple and they was getting it on and shit. And so they've got video of this on the cell phone, and the teenagers joined the act. She said, yeah. A man's voice.
Hope you brought your Costco card because you're about to get dick in bulk.
Nice.
If he said, if you said, yeah, it's lit. Like, you know what I mean? No, not sure I know what my man means, but whatever. I could tell you a freak. Confronted by police, the father and daughter reversed course, admitting that there was no gun. The woman admitted she had consensual group sex with the guys. That happens. And then this past week,
nice of her to at least. I'll give her credit for that. I guess.
The cop said, yeah, we're not going to be able to charge the father with incest because his daughter is not cooperating with investigators now. The complainant has recanted her allegations of forcible sexual assault and the existence of a gun. She does not wish to pursue criminal charges against any of the defendants. She also refuses to cooperate with any prosecution against her father, who was in fact banging her.
Just a good old-fashioned gangbang with a dad.
What a great situation. What a great situation.
For these 5 young individuals.
God,
I mean,
dude, I'm going to
talk
start
about
walking around
stumbling in.
parks at night.
Just because the charges were being dropped, however, does not mean the boys did nothing wrong. That night, this young woman's father and the 5 young men engaged in conduct that was reprehensible and wrong. But because of lack of reliable evidence, criminal charges simply cannot be sustained. That comment drew mixed reactions from attorneys representing the teenagers. Several said that their clients had done absolutely nothing wrong in the eyes of the law. One called the district attorney's statement a little bit of a smear on their character. Wow.
We're gangbanging a chick in a
public place, right? It'd be
banging her own dad.
Well, did they know? I wonder, maybe I missed that. Did they know it was her dad?
I don't think they did it
because they would have just stumbled upon a guy drilling a chick.
Doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
Do you think they would have? Oh no, we're good then. No, you got this thing going, and
right.
It's kind of gross that you'd bang your dad. So I'm not into that. You think that would have been the response?
I actually think if they thought it was their dad, it might have been like more of a thing. Like, yeah, this chick's probably up for whatever. Banging her dad. Maybe us just walking by.
Yeah, well, they joined in and got the ride of their lives, apparently.
The ride of their lives. What a situation, dude.
It's a story. It's a good story. You'd like to have that story in your back pocket, right?
Nah.
If you're first. I mean, you don't want to be the caboose, obviously, but...
What if I'm the dad?
Yeah, he was first in.
No, I don't want that story.
Well put. Good point. I didn't think about that.
First
Yeah,
with a non-related. First with a non-relation. No.
Yeah, even then,
No,
you don't want to be second.
Yeah. Banging a chick who's banging her dad, I got to believe that's got to be pretty sloppy.
When is it acceptable to be second man in? Like the next day? I mean, if a couple hours passes,
that is a funny question when you really think about it.
Yeah,
like if you're like at Vegas, you know, I know you're kind of being a little tongue-cheek, but if you're like at Vegas or at a place like that and you hook up with some chick, don't you maybe like you wonder if she hooked up with a chick the night, like another dude the night before? Is that okay? Is that do you even think about?
that? Yeah, she did probably.
Right, if she hooked up with you, she probably is hooking up with other dudes that weekend.
Yeah.
Well, you've purchased the ladies of the nighty.
I know.
Has that bothered you?
Yeah, it has. Honestly, I haven't really. It's
and
why
barebacking them at that. That's
no, I have not done that.
You like to get them earlier in their shift?
I think that's why I think I have the new policy of hand jobs only.
Hand jobs?
It's the new policy.
Because I think I'm
hand job. Really?
I think I'm realizing the disgusting nature of that is kind of disgusting.
Dude, why don't you just
I'm not saying
yourself?
I'm not even saying I'm
How much you gonna pay for some chick to
I haven't done that in years. I'm just
but you're saying that would be the next step. If you do it again, all you're getting is a hand job.
Yeah, I don't plan on doing it. I'm just saying
that's what sober is.
What's the going rate for a hand job?
I don't know.
Well, Joel said $60.
Right.
Yeah, you
That's a
said
good
50,
point.
60. I mean,
Right.
that's your going rate. But
I'd imagine
the
that would be
ladies out there?
standard. I would imagine probably about 40. Maybe it's more.
Miguel, he's trying to remember
What's market value?
He's trying to harken back to a certain evening and a certain exchange.
Well,
market
there's
value?
obviously different levels. Now, if you're talking about adding on to an existing,
How much does a hand job cost in your hood and other sex trade secrets?
I think if you does it matter if you're going for the straight massage happy ending and they just tie $40 onto the end of a happy, for the happy ending? I think that's reasonable.
The massage,
right? The
Yeah.
massage, right?
So what do you got there, Kadog? What are they? What are the going rates?
Well, what did you pay like the pregnant chick to
I
bang
think that
her?
was like 100.
You paid her 100 to bang her?
$100. No, not just
for a handy.
I think that's a standard, probably. I would imagine. I mean, it depends on what you're talking. If you're just talking
hand job in the Bronx is 75.
That's not bad. Plus a shot at the bar.
So those guys,
a hand job in the Bronx, $75. We'll get you a hand job and a shot at the bar. That's not bad. $225 Wall Street in Tribeca, Chinatown, Soho. You're paying $1.75 for a hand job. North of 14th Street, you'd pay $125.
Oh, there's some expensive HJs going on here.
Mommy role play sex.
$400 on Wall Street. Really? Seems cheap. I overpaid. I was absolutely robbed. $300 for a menage? Really? I think the going rate was much more. I want to see what these.
Well, that's
people
always
look
the other
like,
thing, right? Who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
This is Yelp.
We've got Yelp best massage hand job in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, please.
We don't want to.
Oh, I do.
Give anyone unpaid sponsorship here.
I want to see if there's any names. I bought Beth like.
Hey, if Tantra Avita Spa wants to come on board, then we'll gladly read for them. However, until then,
hey, they're getting 4.5 stars. I mean, somebody's doing something right.
Tantra Avita.
Scroll down. These are all Detroit. What about in our neck of the woods?
Greenleaf Bodywork.
Now, some of these look like legitimate massages, though. Like someone's actually going to some school and stuff.
I want to see if the name of the place that I bought Beth's gift certificate is on there. If I inadvertently bought her a place that's willing to give her a hand job.
When you said the money, I always wondered if you gave Beth like she charged you for a hand job at some point is what I was wondering.
Would Beth charge me for a hand job?
She should.
Yeah, she should. I'd give her 30.
God.
If I was desperate, I'd pay her $30. Why not?
Just like, God damn it.
Really need some help.
And she doesn't want to.
She just wants to go to bed.
That's what if I slide a 20 over there, you just stick your hand on my dick for a little bit. Get yourself someone nice tomorrow. Does she make more than you?
I doubt the spa at Somerset is giving handies. I find that very hard to believe.
Yeah, I'm questioning this list.
These Yelp reviews for happy ending massages.
Someone's getting cute here.
Dude, I was told a joke about that last night. And the funnier part to me is like those, I don't know if we've talked about it here or not. So if we have, I'm sorry, but those Oriental massages on like 94 and 96 when you're on your way to like kind
They
of
actually say Oriental.
yes, they absolutely it's
That's
Oriental or
outmoded. It should be Asian.
it's Oriental, or they'll say
I have seen Oriental.
therapeutic massage, but they're literally open. They're off like 94 or 96, and they're literally open like 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. 7 days a week or something.
Like the Lion's Den or something.
Right, and it's like, geez Louise.
Best club in Detroit to get a hand job for less than $50 without any valet parking that would be close to a Denny's that opens up at 10 a.m. where I won't get shot. Oh,
I know from a buddy.
Pretty specific question.
Wow.
Is he getting answers?
I know from a buddy. I don't know what I'm not going to say his name, and I don't know what bar this is, but apparently there's a nice club, a gentleman's club over on Windsor that it's pretty much just standard. Like you go back to get your lap dance, and if you want the blowy, it's 50. If you want the full on, it's 100. And it's just not even like it's not even wink wink. It is literally just like I'll throw 50 on there.
I wonder what happens if a guy's got a bunch of drinks in him and he can't finish. I mean, what does he get one song to finish, or
I do
how
not.
does
I
that
did not
work?
ask how long the limitation was. I've never been there. I don't even
You've
remember.
had to have been in way drunk situations paying for a handy. You've had to.
Not really, dude. I've gone. I think
I thought that's how you explain all these encounters. Oh, I was so shit faced.
Oh no, yeah, no. When they've happened, I'm saying, but I haven't done it in a long time.
I don't think that cleared.
I've gotten drunk
Just as
and like
bad.
started looking at my phone, but then it just nothing's happened.
Lastly, before we get to some email,
we do have some email, Mike.
Do we?
The Lord.
Woman was charged with stealing money from an 8-year-old girl who lost her father and 3 siblings, an arm and a foot, in a suspected arson attack. After the woman volunteered to open Christmas cards, you'll remember this story. We did this story a while ago. She wanted Christmas cards and from people. She doesn't have family anymore, or a foot, or a hand, and so she had people sending her. Poops.
Oh, I remember this. Absolutely.
Look at her. People from all over the world sent her Christmas cards. She got over 1 million of them. They had to open a warehouse just to house them all. And so, it was
sort of like Big E's lookalike. Remember that guy?
Yeah, exactly.
And somebody was sending him Detroitcast stuff too, but same idea. Yeah, they feel bad for this kid, this person, and wow, that's all her mail?
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
And so this piece of shit, Kimberly Bradford, was one of hundreds of volunteers who helped open these Christmas cards that were sent last year to Sapphire Terry.
Wasn't Kimberly Bradford a character on 8 is Enough? Am I imagining that?
Was it?
Maybe.
I don't know. I never watched that show. She was the lone survivor of this house fire back in 2013. Turns out she was ripping off cash from these cards.
What a piece of shit.
Can you believe that? How could you look at that poor little girl, Sapphire, young Sapphire, and steal money from her?
Taking like $5, $20,
Yeah.
like that. Just a nickel and dime, or what a bitch.
They found $800 in cash and $500 in gift cards inside her house that, quote, she did not have the right to have. Bradford was one of a handful, yes, you heard me right, handful of volunteers suspected of stealing the young survivors' Christmas cards. How utterly pathetic is that?
Do we have Kimberly? No Kimberly?
Damn it, there's 8 of them. Are you kidding me?
Wait. There was a Bradford, though.
They're all Bradfords. That's
Susan Bradford. Oh, okay.
Mary, Joni, Susan,
Elizabeth,
Nancy, Elizabeth, Tommy, and Nicholas. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Sorry. I would have put big money that you were right. You're always right on those. Anyway, the greetings were so numerous that they had to rent a warehouse to sort the mail. Volunteers alerted police to the suspicions that someone among them was looting from the cards. During the time of sorting out the mail at the warehouse, she was interviewed for local TV. Bradford was. She's like, oh my God, it restored my faith in like humanity in such a terrible time in the world with like everything that's going on. Just to see the outpouring of love from around the world for one little girl. What a monster. Oh, that's...
I'm going to punch you in the fuck. I'm going to make you my bitch's bitch. You're going to be my grand bitch.
It is infuriating.
Isn't that absolutely
Yes.
infuriating? Looking at that picture of her, that poor little girl, and you're going to steal money from her. Look at it, poops. Oh, she's got nail polish on.
Your little Supergirl outfit.
Supergirl pants. Poor thing.
Dude,
Oh, what monsters! We're surrounded by monsters.
Oh yeah, can't
It's
trust
unbelievable.
anybody.
Unbelievable.
Yes,
I'm just this is completely off the subject. I'm just seeing this now.
Surprise.
But
as the crow flies.
I think it's funny, man. So there's the newer Fuller House on Netflix.
I watched episode 1.
Was it bad? I heard it was really bad.
Dude, it's beyond douchey.
Is it okay? Well, that's not what this is about. Apparently, it's becoming a trending thing that everyone that's watching the Fuller House is tweeting about Stephanie Tanner's big breasts.
Dude, her tits are enormous.
Who's Stephanie Tanner?
This one. I thought didn't she have a bunch of problems?
Yeah, she was like a drug addict.
I thought she was a total junkie.
She was like the middle child.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Dude, there's a whole scene in this movie where she's getting ready to go out clubbing or something, and she's wearing this top that's like cut and dude,
probably this.
Yeah. And if you watch,
oh my
the
god,
scene,
that's
though,
totally. Oh, her face is exactly how it was on that show, though. She looks like a little girl with these big boobs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like this guy watching Fuller House, and now I know why they call it Fuller House.
Yeah, see, that's what
Tanner's tits are huge.
That's what I was gonna say. I've heard a bunch of like porn parody names are being thrown out there, and
oh really?
Somebody will make some porno.
Yeah.
Themed.
It's bad. I imagine if you were a little kid, I imagine Sweet Pie would like it. Although, if you want her seeing titties that giant all the time, feel free. But
Stephanie Tanner's boobs ate the Olsen twins.
Oh, the Olsen twins aren't on there? They're too good for that?
No, and they reference them.
You talk about a couple creepy chicks, dude. Have we ever talked about them?
What's weird?
They are weird,
They
man.
are. They're so weird now. But what's so weird, I don't remember if you guys did it on the show back in the day, but I feel like I remember as the Olsen twins turning 18, one of the first ones were in my life. I'm sure it happened before me, but in my life, that first one that was like, when are they 18? Like that big countdown to when will they be 18?
Oh, I always thought
there was a website dedicated to it with a timer, a constant clock timer to when they were going to be 18.
Do you think generally people thought they're hot or think they're hot?
No, I thought they were, though. I thought they were gonna be. I thought they were.
Oh my gosh, look at that girl. I swear she has the same face as she did on the show, and then these giant boobs.
Dude, it was weird. There were a few moments on that show. They made a cum joke.
Wow.
No way.
They made a cum joke on the show. Yes. John Stamos's character with his dumb wife or whatever.
Right.
They were talking about one of the kids had a new baby and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh my God, I want another baby. And he's like, we can't have another baby. He's like, that ship sailed and the seaman went down with the ship, if you know what I'm saying. And I'm like,
wow.
So like he got a vasectomy or something. I was like, did they just make a cum joke on Fuller House? Really?
That's wild.
No,
Look at those two, dude.
I do think there was
like
a time,
aliens.
though. I thought there was a time when they were teenagers. And I know that sounds bad, but I thought there was a time when I thought they were going to turn out to be hot. I remember being excited about it.
I saw their dad one time, and I was like, oh my God, they look way too much like their dad. They're just that creepy look to them. They look like ghouls.
They look like someone wearing Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen masks to a party.
And they were really like on the forefront of the whole duck lip thing. They've got duck lips anyway, but they were on the forefront of that whole. Ooh,
God, that was such a big duo. Do you remember like the movies they had and the songs and they made.
They didn't want to do this show. They just wanted to stay in New York or whatever and run their empire, which they referenced on the Fuller House.
Oh, they had to say something. I mean,
they said something. They had like a phone call
from the one kid, right?
Right.
Singular.
It was just Michelle was the one kid. I think that's how they did it. And then there's the whole group standing there, and they're like, "Oh, is Michelle gonna make it?" And the dad, Bob Saget, is like, "No, Michelle's too busy, focused on her in New York, focused on her empire." And then the whole cast looks at the camera and pauses to great uproar from everybody. And they're like, "Oh, they addressed it." The fact that the
those chicks are gross.
Yeah,
really gross. My God, man. We do have some email, Mike.
What do
Should
we
get to it?
Sure.
Well, before we do have to mention Merck, our buddy Merck. In today's complex financial environment, timely insights and careful guidance are essential to effectively manage your money and work toward your goals. Mark Leibovitz can help you develop an investment strategy to address your needs and aspirations. Call today and tell him you're a friend of the show for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation, 248-626-2000, and ask for Mark. Is there something you wanted to add, E?
Yeah, if I could.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Well putty. We do have some commentary about E's big stand-up night. Kevin writes in, "Hey guys, we went to Big E's show Saturday night at Laugh Tracks. I was really looking forward to the show, but unfortunately there was a few a-holes in the crowd who continued to heckle the comics. Big E wasn't even able to tell any of his jokes, so now I still don't know if Big E is funny or not. FYI, please inform Big E while watching Comcast on demand. You can fast forward 10 minutes by pushing the page up button so he can now watch the OJ show. Also, he forgot to get that nasty picture from the guy at work again."
I know, dude. That guy talked to me. I completely forgot about it. I didn't know about. Okay, that's cool, dude.
Also, Jay, please play. Oh, wait, he said, please don't play that. Sorry, Kevin.
Sometimes you get confused, do and don't, right?
Don writes
that's
in,
what it is.
"Guys had a great night watching E and his idiots perform. We were all honored with the real story about the cell phone. Surprised at all the hot chicks that were in the crowd to see Big E. But I had the cherished honor to meet E at the urinal." Ooh, do you remember this, E?
Maybe. I don't know.
Also, guys, to my horror, he doesn't wash his hands. What a surprise.
Yeah.
What did you think, Don?
I don't know what he thought was going to happen there.
Anyway, had a great time. Definitely would do it again, says Don.
Cool.
Karen writes in as well. "Good day, gentlemen and E. I traveled from the north with 3 friends who are unfortunately not DCast listeners, losers, if you will, to see Big E's show at Laugh Tracks. A couple comics were good, couple not so good. I really wanted to hear some of E's stand-up, but when it was his turn, he ranted about a couple hecklers in the crowd and then never told any jokes. Very disappointing. Although we got to hear the story of the lost cell phone, so that was good. Come on, Big E. Is that all you got? Eat a bag of dicks. Love the show. Keep it up, Fuqfase's Karen."
I did feel
Winky face.
I did feel bad for those people because I really did the 3
Did you know who it was?
They were sitting pretty up front. I did feel bad for those people, actually.
Yeah.
Ed writes in, "Guys, Eric was very nice, merely calling the loud listeners assholes. Mike has talked about the Doug Stanhope show that Riff sponsored. That show was wrecked by a handful of drunk listeners shouting things. A few of them were sitting at my table. Last night reminded me of that show. It was horrible sitting next to them. I'm hoping they just had a few too many drinks and they didn't think what they did was acceptable or funny. They pretty much ruined everybody else's night. I have seen Eric do his comedy many times. Last night was his best show ever."
Wow,
I was hoping he realized that he didn't need to tell jokes to be funny. He's just funny. And I hope you have seen his video. I was very proud of the way he handled the hecklers. Thanks, Ed.
Yeah, it couldn't have been as bad as that Stanhope night. That was brutal. I've told you about that when Stanhope came to town and we helped him sell out a show. I can't remember where it was. It might have been at a theater that we helped sell him out. And so we were going to do it again, bring him back. And he's like, "Dude, I want to bring a carnival of comics and all this shit." And so he really wanted to do this, but he brought a bunch of comics who weren't theater ready performers. I mean, Stanhope could play anywhere. I mean, he's one of the most brilliant comics out there.
Was that where Dickweed got up and started?
No.
And so Stanhope brought a bunch of comics, and some of them were good. Some of them were not ready for prime time and were probably more or less open micers. And you cannot stick an open micer out on a stage in front of 2,500 people or 2,000 people at the State Theater or Royal Oak Music Theater. And, and I remember one chick had like notes with her and was like, and so, but Doug, these are his
too.
Yeah. And Doug wanted to defend his friends, which I get. So he came out and finally had to like rescue her. She was getting fucking hammered. So he probably didn't help the situation all that much, looking back at it. And then, he ended up, Doug's not afraid to fucking take on hecklers. So he just ended up fighting half the night with these hecklers, which was a huge bummer. I mean, I was in the crowd just like, oh my God, we worked so hard to pull this show together.
Yeah.
And now it's just turning into like this pissing match. One guy on stage with a bunch of people and you amp up a drunk Detroit crowd. Good luck. You're just not going to rein that in. You're just going to end up fighting with them all night.
It was that bad, huh?
I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah, the Stanhope one was tough. That was tough. People were walking out. Yeah.
I think I've made it clear, by the way, I think I assume you're done with the emails regarding that. But the one guy that said it, I did feel bad for those people that went there. And to be clear, I'm glad that Ed thought it was nice. I did not do good. I did not have a good set. I think it was fun. I think there was some funny stuff in the night of my
I want to watch the video.
I didn't do good. I'll tell you that flat out. It was a bad set for me.
Linda writes, and I just realized something. Megyn Kelly, Fox News biatch, who likes to attack Trump, looks a lot like a praying mantis. She has mantis-itis, I believe, is what Linda is saying. Check it out. She's got a side-by-side. It's hard to argue.
Wow.
Hard to argue. We have the narrowing of the chin.
Wow.
So we have sort of the triangular-shaped head going on.
Mm-hmm.
And her new do kind of assists with that. And then here we go down to the pointy chin.
Yeah. It's not quite as drastic as
Juliana Rancic.
Is she still married to
Bill?
I don't know.
Bill Rancic?
Probably because they have their stupid reality shows, so they got to keep that thing going.
Yeah, well, we saw her. Yeah, the Oscars are about to start right now. The So White Oscars are about to start. So we were watching some of the pregame of that, and
it's remarkable.
It is scary. I wouldn't want to be behind her. Would you?
She has definitely eaten a mate's head.
Yeah.
But even her limbs, they kind of
the way
moving
she holds
away.
her
Like,
hands.
you just see her on a stick.
Yeah, she's got
on a stick.
That's about as severe a case of mantis-itis,
Yeah.
praying mantis-itis as you're going to see.
Yeah, but I like Linda's thought there. I think that was a good observation.
Yeah, if we had Megyn Kelly doing more of a head tilt, I thought I heard that
Sprout some antlers there.
Yeah,
that might help.
Yeah, I mean, she could definitely go with Halloween for that. That'd be an easy costume. I don't think they'll let Rancic wear green on TV.
No, I wouldn't.
I don't think that she's allowed. I think it's a part of her contract is you're not allowed to wear green outfits.
Hey, we have a follow-up to the Ask E segment, which closed our week last week, I believe. Rick wrote in. If you'll remember, he talked about his lack of sex, although he does get 2 timed BJs, which are at certain days of the week and so forth.
Timed BJs,
which
running against the clock. I wonder how close to the finish line he's gotten. Has he come in with seconds to spare, like a Bond movie?
Right. He said that he's got some strange on the side, and he was asking us, like, what does he do? And the kicker is that his wife is generally a good wife, other than the lack of sex thing, but she's also sitting on a big inheritance. So we were wondering, well, how much is a big inheritance and all that? So he wrote in with some more details. Gentlemen, here are the exact details you requested. I'm 39. I make an average income. We're talking a few $1 million concerning the inheritance. My wife is a great mom to my children. Now, as far as her and I are concerned, we like similar activities and for the most part get along, but it's more of a friend relationship. She has told me on multiple occasions that she has never, and I mean never, masturbated or ever felt the need to have sex. What?
That is crazy.
I've begged for years for her to put out and that it would make me happy, but she thinks I have issues and even has gone so far as to get upset that I look at porn. I'll be honest, I'm a sexual deviant and I don't know what the heck I was thinking, but in my defense, when we dated, we had sex every weekend. We were together. Well, it turns out she didn't want to.
Yeah. She got through it.
The woman won't even get
that's tough.
undressed
That's hard to
around
hear.
me. She
Hard
won't
to
even
hear.
get it undressed around him.
She's got
He's
body
39.
issues. Yeah.
My new love is a definite gamer and is everything I've ever wanted when it comes to sex. She will have sex wherever, whenever, however, and is game for anything. My wife and I have only had sex in the bedroom and for the most part missionary. So in conclusion, my wife's she's great to my life burden's a good friend, has money, and is loyal. Also, I might mention her mom is ruthless and would try to destroy me. But part of me is thinking getting a blowjob on 696 doing 80 or screwing in some place other than the bedroom, like the king's closet, might make me happier. Big E, what do I do?
God damn.
What do you do?
God, that's.
Does his wife know that he's banging?
No, of
that
course
he's
not,
got
right?
side shit going on?
No way. No way.
But she's a good woman.
Hasn't
God.
given me shit since Musto was born.
Maybe the problem is this: if you ever would believe that this other chick is just gonna be okay with that, the problem is that's they're not. They really, no matter what they say, they usually aren't, or eventually will want more. I think. God damn. Maybe just. I don't know. Maybe stay with it and just.
So what's
keep
more
banging this other
important?
chick.
Let's bottom line this. What's more important, sex or money?
Right.
$3 million.
I know.
I mean, that's the number.
Damn, that's tough to me. I think I'm going with the
You
money.
sure
at
she's
that
not
point.
getting a nice deep dicking on the side and just like I'm not putting up with that?
No, because
I'm
only-
not putting up with this guy when I've got
Yeah.
I've got
Think about that.
NFL combine on the side.
The only reason I don't think so is based on how adamant she seems to be against it. Like she doesn't even have the need to have sex. I think I would probably
It's just hard to fathom for guys.
You know what I think I would do?
Isn't that weird?
It's
God,
hard to
so
like
foreign.
wrap your
Why-
head around.
Why,
like-
why wouldn't you?
That's insane.
Crazy.
I think what I would do is probably stick with it, man, and just keep. As bad as this sounds,
does it have anything to do with the kids?
Just keep cheating, and hopefully she doesn't find out.
So it's all about the money at this point.
Yeah,
Nothing about the
gotta
kids or keeping the family together. It's
The
just
marriage.
I
money.
don't care about that.
Okay. Just strictly hang in there because
Right.
you'll get your money.
Right.
Okay.
You got a decent life situation. Sounds like coming that could be coming.
So you think a life as a gold digger is cool?
Oh, I would be one.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Fair
also,
enough.
to be clear, when people get to that level where they're like worried that girls are only having sex with them for their money, like, yeah, be like, yeah, that's why I wanted to make money. Like, I'm good with that.
We'll end it there.
At least he's honest.
Yeah, we'll save the rest for tomorrow, Mike.
If you're in Lansing, Michigan, I'll be at Max Bar
Max,
tonight.
not Max's.
Right, Max Bar tonight. So that should be fun.
And that's Monday night.
Yeah, 9 or 10, I think. Forget if it's. I think they say. We'll say 9
or whatever.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Well, if you're at Max Bar in Lansing, go check out Big E. And with that, we'll call it a day. Thanks everybody for hanging with us for episode 533. We'll see you guys tomorrow for an all new episode.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening.
I guess I'm attracted
and
to
as
a dude.
always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen to God, watch you grow.